Oh, yeah, you got plenty of stories.
Yeah, this is Alabama John. He's part of my stories. Yeah. Well, Austin, thanks for coming in today. You are going to make an appointment with Miss Thing, Sonia. She's in charge of all of that sort of stuff, right?
Yes, I would email me
Yes.
the gist of everything so I can.
Yeah,
and then make an appointment to come back in person.
Yeah.
And we'll not make it a podcast day. So we have a time, and then it won't be during this. And this is kind of important right now.
No, that's fine. All I was going to say.
Well, thanks for being a good sport and being on the show, because you will be in the next, probably, episode 34. Look for yourself on Route 37. Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. But no, I was going to say, honestly, the gist of it is pretty much exactly what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally just Amazon with better pricing. And
Okay.
there's a couple different extra tools that I show you guys once we're in, like analytic tools,
That will be
guided
important.
buying, users, stuff like that.
Yep.
Small little added things that are on the business account. But I show you guys all that.
Okay.
So
The only way I'm on board, though, is if I don't have to buy a specific amount of units. Does it change?
To be honest, I have it because my dad has a business. I'm a multiple user on his, just so I can use it when I buy anything personal.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I've seen that too.
Okay. Well, I have, pretty sure that the business icon is on there, but it won't work because it's Canadian.
Well, first it says you're a student.
That too.
And then
Canadian student.
No, we'll figure it all
Okay.
out. I was gonna say, I'm gonna be in the area like today, and I'm not actually gonna be here tomorrow.
I'm here Thursdays.
And then today is a school day. She's got to pick her son up, so she scoots out of here really early in the afternoon.
Yeah, so next week, honestly, would be better. Just email me and I can get you a time of which would work.
Yeah, I was going to say next Thursday. All right. I just so you guys know, I'll probably have someone.
Okay.
Thanks for the heads up. You better give them a warning. Just saying.
I'll be training. So.
I'll help them. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
I'll be nice.
But no, I was going to say, do you have like a business card? Or
I do, yeah.
Something?
Did I not give them to you the other day?
No, you did.
That's what I thought. But give it, personally hand it to him, Sonia. Thanks for being a good sport, John. I appreciate you hanging on.
This one's me personally.
That's part of
phone number.
owning your own business and all the fun things that I hate.
I was going to say,
that part right here, John.
Or if you just want
if you could email me so I can
talking
go
about
over
when you own your own business,
you
being
again
sitting
via
down,
email and go from there. Kind of helps me with my agenda.
Yeah, it's something.
About your
I don't
visit
know,
today
but whatever.
and what you can do next week.
Just like what you told me, how people will call you. Just about something simple about, watering your plant or whatever.
Yeah, 7 days a week, don't matter what time.
That's what
Have a good one.
talking about right there.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sundays is a big day where from the minute I wake up till I go to bed, plant questions, pictures, and I'm like, and I hate to say this on the microphone, but this is a real and raw broadcast. There are certain resentments I'm finding that are building in me, and negativity sometimes does grip me, because some of those people that are in wanting my free time aren't necessarily always purchasing plants for me. They're like what I call the clearance section customers, where they really buy plants that they want to rescue, which there's a whole Munchausen part of the plant world. You stay tuned for that part. But, they don't want to pay me for my time. And if you mix that with somebody that's, releasing scarcity, ideally, programming and things that have happened. Are you there, John?
I am.
And so my phone just did some weird thing, but I think it's because Sonia bumped the table. But, so it makes more sense to me now when you explain it in a way how your time is valuable. And let me pull this up. Let me see if I can pull this up.
My time is very valuable, and I don't make. I just don't. I'm gonna say this real quick, and then I'll be done with it. But you pay me for my time, and my time is what I mean. If I'm going to invest in you, then you need to invest in me. And when I was doing this and not when I wasn't charging anything. No, and I'm just telling you, that's the way people are. You put a price on it, and then they're interested in it. You offer it for free.
Mm-hmm. They teach that in business class, too.
Hours into it, they're not going to respect it, and they ain't going to appreciate it, and they most likely ain't going to do the work. Because what I do is I help people that are they're coming into their consciousness. They're starting to realize that everything is not like world for what the world is. And that's what I help do, because where I come from, I can do that because I was in it so deep, and I was raised, and I'm just going to say Christian because that's to me, that's the biggest cult in the world.
Well, if you put a percentage on it, I would dare say most of us in our generation, John, probably 85% of us were brought up with that programming. Whether
exactly.
Catholic, Baptist,
the Western religion that we deal with.
The Good Book.
I help people break out of that shit.
The Good Book and the Golden Rule, was hammered in the Pledge of Allegiance here in America. That ritualistic, and even the singing Happy Birthday or whatever. Yeah, we definitely, I can see that those programmings get passed down and get passed down and passed down.
They do.
Yeah, and that's why, when...
We're programmed.
Right, and when they say... everything is introverted. That's why, and I know this is a serious subject, but if you're reading the Good Book, and there are certain things in that Good Book, whether it be the Ten Commandments, and certain things that they hammer home to you. And one of the bigger ones is don't immediate vacation to hell is if you take your own life. Right, which I totally get, because we are so attached to hope and feeling and emotions here in this realm.
Well, everything, like I teach my little girl, everything is from you can gauge everything in life from two different perspectives, and you can. Mm-hmm. I've proven it. You can either gauge it comes from a place of love or a place of fear. Mm-hmm. Everything we experience, everything we do, comes from those two areas, because we are love in a world of fear. If that makes any kind of sense.
Yeah, it is weird, because then we are asked to balance and transmute and alkalize and all the things.
We're in a duality, so
right?
And you listen to these idiots. We're not in a duality. Whatever. Yeah.
I can see how that they would say that from their perspective. Their perch and their perspectives and their programming. Because if you're not willing, and this is the part, and this, because I can be a little self-righteous, but I get mad sometimes collectively if you are so into your rigid belief system, your programming, but you're not willing to look at yourself and wow, why do I think that so strongly? Where did that come from?
Yeah.
If you're not willing to do that a little bit.
School. All that.
Funny we were talking about
and as you get older, and especially people that I had 10, now I've got 12. I've picked up two more people that I'm working with. And
well, good for you, John. They're in good hands.
The only ones, I'm all about me. I'm about quality, not quantity, and I like doing what I do because I can take time with an individual. And, they can ask me any question, and then we can go from there, first I got to gauge where your consciousness is. And I'm telling you, everybody that I'm working with except one person has read the Bible all the way through. Mm. And so I point out to them how, think about this. And see, Christians can't think on their own. It's not allowed. Mm. You remember me telling you, and it's true, everything in the Bible, there's a scripture that backs it up or covers it. Mm-hmm. You can't think for yourself because you're in a spell. You're in a program. And it's not just Christianity. I'm talking about all religions, but I mainly deal with Christianity because that's what that's what.
Well, even if you had a Buddhist sitting in your chair, it's the same thing. So it's what do they call that? What do they call that when you're going to be de-brainwashed? Is it called deprogramming or de? Yeah, it's kind of like a computer when you're defragging it. You got to get rid of that shit so you can start.
That's what I'm doing basically. I'm deprogramming. But everybody I deal with is so scared, and when my third eye came.
Yeah, but their fear is valid. The fear is valid.
Oh, I was terrified. I was terrified because all of a sudden this world and everything that I had taught is now telling me, not really that way, John. It's really a lie. So that was, that was very
That's why
hard for me.
I'm so glad I was born weird, and I came here like, yeah, that's not true. Like,
yeah.
But at the same time, the shame and guilt that was attached to it, because I was like, nuh-uh. Somebody, my imaginary friends told me that's not right, Or imagine you're just weird either way, whether you're in the cult or not in the cult. So why can't we just get along? I mean, if you're going to believe, if you're going to believe that, and you're not willing to let go of the outside sources of rowboats that is your security, hey, that's great. That's fine. But at least take a look at yourself and wonder, God, why won't I let go of the rowboat? I know what it's like to be afraid. I do this fucking afraid every goddamn day. Every day.
Yes.
One goddamn slip. I have no health insurance. Well, I got invited to go roller skate, and I'm like, no, thank you. I like the way that my hip rotates in its socket, not broken.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then, you got one wrong move, man. Like, no pressure. That's just like playing a video game. Like, only I can't start over. I'm not coming back to the shithole.
Yeah, well, we've talked about that a bunch.
We're saving that for a whole different podcast.
I agree with you on that. See,
yeah.
I think the only way that, for me, and this is, I'm speaking for me, okay? I'm speaking, and
that's all you can do, John.
Everybody's got one, and they all stink, and I'm aware of that. And I'm putting it out there for people. And if it resonates, then it's for you. If it don't resonate, then put it in the back burner. And and if it comes back up, then it's the appointed time for you to do that. But everybody, in my opinion, everybody on this planned net is supposed to be doing the same thing that I'm doing, and that is deprogramming yourself from the program and realizing that you are so much more than just a fart in a whirlwind in this like you said, you don't like to use the word matrix. I get it, because me and you,
because it's done to death. People will shut the fuck right down, like, oh boy.
Yeah. But yes, but it's still kind of new. But it is. That's what it is. It's a matrix. So to get out of this matrix, in my opinion, the only way you're going to do that when you cross over is through consciousness, knowing who you are. How can you be a god and be caught up, you know what I mean, and have to be sucked back into this reincarnation trap?
Right, but in the terms of telling people,
when it's time for you to cross over, you're not going to fall for any of that, and you're not going to allow it, because you'll realize that you are the all, in my opinion. I don't think you can come back if you don't want to.
So it's, for me, how I interpret it now, because we are, like, when you say we're a matrix within a matrix within a matrix, within the, it's like that little Russian doll I was talking about yesterday that I couldn't remember the day.
Nesting doll.
What's it called? Nesting doll?
Yep. Matryoshka or something like that, but yes.
So,
Russian nesting doll.
Right. So when you have, the game is not set up to win. You're just it's within the next.
This system sets you up to fail.
So it doesn't matter whether you're Christian, Buddhist, spiritual, rebel, sovereign, whatever label you're placing on yourself. It doesn't matter. Even if you're placing a label on yourself, you are now entering the energetic field of separatism. So when you are separate from the whole, and remember when I tried to explain to you, like when I've been trying to explain to people, because we were right after Rona when you and I became friends, and I was the one that was going to get arrested at Aldi's for not wearing a mask. Like, oh, fuck you. Like, I'm not part of the delusion. Whatever, and that's a whole different show. But remember when I explained to you, trying to explain that scene in Elf, the Christmas movie, where Will Ferrell they're singing the Christmas song to get the sleigh to work, and some of the people are faking it. Well, the collective knew that they were faking it. There was no Christmas spirit behind the singing, so the sleigh wouldn't rise. So if you're not going to dig deeper and know that every decision, choice that you make energetically, it has an energetic signature, But if we were all to collectively, this is how the ritual, all the things get, whatever the delusion or whatever in the game is, the programming. But if we all revolted once we learned the rules of engagement in the simulation, we're going to see the sleigh lift. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, like, there's no... I used to be really polite about things, and I would sympathize and all that, but there's no time. There's no time for that anymore.
Yeah, and that's not my plight.
You're going to get in the boat, or you're going to...
But I do like that the Curious people are searching you out, John, where you can't be... I feel like it can't be the other way around, like it was hardcore.
No, they come to me. And I mean, that's the thing. I'm
and
about
that's
the
half
quality
of
the
it.
person, not quantity. If I was on quantity, I'll be doing something totally different. But I feel like it is time to I don't know yet. I'm not necessarily. I'm waiting to be led to show exactly what I need to be.
And that's something I think that Christians could identify with and let that resonate. Only it's just a different.
Oh yeah,
force.
I am definitely. I am not a. What would you say? I'm not an atheist. I'm definitely
I know.
a person.
I can't stand when people.
The God that we have been taught that is this God, this Alpha and the Omega. Well, it's the same devil that we've been taught to fear and despise. It's the same entity, and so that for me, that's not the creator. It's the creator of this realm. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, that's Papa.
I think what do they call the kids that design video games? Coders? Are they called coders?
No.
What are they called? The kids that design the video games.
I think they're just called game designers.
Software developers, whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
It's eerily similar to something that we call AI, don't you think?
It's not eerily saying it's exactly what it is. AI is ancient. We've been
I know.
calling out.
How fun is it going to be? I know. I love to watch people's faces contort when I tell them AI was here before we were. And they're like,
there you go.
And they're like, no, it wasn't. And I'm like, but see, you can only come to that conclusion, though, if you've had the life experiences or let go of the robo and you're no longer, attached. I'm not even, and I never was attached to the stupid story, and it ruined my childhood in some small way because I've said this numerous times. I really, really wish what they shoveled down our throat was the real deal. I wish our history wasn't a lie. I wish that...
They can't do that.
No, I know.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
But it isn't. And you have to come at, like the lady that you talked about yesterday, one of your people that, that you were counseling, where when you told her, even your parents were in on it, I could literally feel the energy of her mind twist and contort. Like, I can't wrap my mind around that. But but you planted the seeds, but 2 years down the road, she'll be like, oh, now I understand.
Oh, well, she told me a month ago, and she was so excited because
that's awesome.
She got it. She's like, I see now. Mm-hmm. I was like, I told you, it's a seed. They planted the seed, and your mom and dad thought that they was doing good, because that's what they was taught. Or
unless you had a spiritually, if you were spiritually abused.
Lowest of their lowest, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but John, in that level,
this God, whenever they're going through and life's just really kicking and woo,
all right, John,
great. It's always at the lowest part of their life.
No, I know, but let me stop you. Your upbringing, religious upbringing, and my religious upbringing were different, but I had a father that used the word spiritually abused. Took only bits and pieces of the good book that said, wife has to all the controlling aspects of the Bible. And in the Southern, I know how you grew up, and holy shit, if I seen that as a kid, leaving a Baptist ministry, I'd be like, holy fuck, my dad's gonna kill me. You know what I mean? So very stark difference, but the same underlying tone is, we're going to put the fear of God in you, and you're going to mind what we say. And if you don't, there are going to be consequences, and that fiery hell's going to hurt. But here's some pretty little pictures for you to look at and tell them. But don't tell a lie. Don't do anything. Remember, I told you about my Sunday school story yesterday when my sister Lee, and, you know, the whole thing, the whole fallout at the Leonard Heights Baptist Church in, I don't know what, 1970-some. But when my sister Lee told the Sunday school teacher that my dad fell off the roof and broke his arm, and that was a bold-faced fucking lie, and I'm like, oh, God. And I'm asking people to pray for her because I'm like, she's going to die when she gets home. And once my dad finds out that she lied, he's going to kill her. Because that's just, you know, you were afraid all the fucking time. Like, is he coming today? Is Jesus coming today? Do I got time to play Barbies? I mean, think of all that pressure you were under to be.
Well, honey,
I know, and you had it way Pentecostal.
All the way up till I was adult.
Way worse, the shit you had to see. But my punishment as a kid, which was very few because I was a damn good child and didn't even hardly talk because I had imaginary friends that just kept me in line, was I had to memorize Bible verses. I had to read the Bible. That was my punishment.
Yeah, well.
So I laugh when I'm on the way to the beach. There's a big sign that says John 3:16. I used to sing that song in my head before I went to bed. John 3:16. For those that, whatever, I can't even recite it now. But I used to know it like the back of my fucking hand. And then I got brownie points, you know. So once you find out and you've made the connection that, wow, my dad lights right up when I say nice things about Jesus. Well, of course I'm going to say nice things about Jesus, even though I didn't believe it. Because in my mind, as a 4-year-old or 5-year-old, when I was getting messages, was, if he's so great, why are there people dying? I had questions, like, if he's so great, why is there, you know, because my mom would get these little envelopes to feed the hungry kids. Like, well, if there's a Jesus, why is there hungry kids? You know, so I had questions, and it pissed my dad off. Like, if he's so great, and he can do such great things, and I pictured him being like this wizard with a magic hat and wand. Too much Disney. Remember Disney when the little fairy with the wand? Like, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just, all of it's rather confusing if it's not like spoken clearly. You're left to your own vices to figure it out. Yeah, I had questions like, I don't believe that. Not for one bit, because you want to know why? My pattern recognition is telling me other things. So then you're gaslit the rest of your life. Like, you're not seeing what you're seeing. Just sit down, shut up, do what you're told.
Yeah.
So, yeah, whatever.
Well, you know, I was like going. You talking about, you know, being scared, you know, is Jesus coming today, or, you know, when's God coming back? That kind of stuff. He was constant. Honey, I lived that all the way up till I decided to, you know, that's it. I know that, you know, this is not. I've been taught wrong. I've been teaching it wrong. You know, I mean.
That's why I have the highest respect for you, because
all the way up to an adult. You know what I mean? My third eye came up when I was 44.
I watched my dad.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he took it to his death, and then on his deathbed, how deceived he felt. Imagine you're like this hardcore Christian.
Didn't your dad tell you when he was dying that he felt like he was deceived?
Yeah, I mean, that's all he would say, and he was telling, I mean, how the vivid dreams and all the things. He's like,
yes.
All this for fucking nothing. Like,
yes.
This was so, and then for my dad to say Snookums, you know, and basically in his own way of apologizing, my way wasn't the only way. Keep searching your way. Like, because he felt so deceived, like, well, goddamn, maybe my black sheep of the family daughter might be onto something. I don't know. But he wasn't going to admit that. And the one thing about my mom that really bothered me, and it's hard to say out loud, is on her deathbed, you know, like Psalms 23 on every fucking plaque, home, you know, interior, whatever. And my mom, like I said last night, her church was her kitchen. Her being out in nature, planting her plants or doing whatever. That was my mom's church after the falling out. You know, because I'm sure my dad boinked somebody at fucking, who knows, at the church. Or the pastor did. Something happened at that church. And my mom would always say, this is my church. My kids are my church. All the things. And just, I forgot where I was going with that because I watched somebody outside. But I know you watch certain things. And as a kid, where you have a dad that says one thing and the Bible's supposed to be all this fucking rainbows and goddamn butterflies, and your dad's mean as fuck. Like, he ain't what he's supposed to be. You get confused.
I grew up in that.
I know. You get confused. You had snakes in your repertoire.
So that's why.
Yeah, like as a kid, I'm watching.
It'll mess with you. Such a.
Do you remember? Yeah.
For a child too to be into all that that drama, that trauma.
Yeah, spiritual abuse. My dad took it to the nth degree. Yeah, to the nth degree. But he was too afraid, and my mom was too afraid on her deathbed because, well, I got to get to the pearly gates. So my mom, they were reading the Bible. I would just cringe. That's all anybody ever did was read the Bible to my mom while she's dying, and she, not me, and my mom. The whole time I'm in there, she'd pat my hand. But reading the Bible and our daily bread, and nothing against that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. If that's your, that's your comfort, that's your Tylenol, whatever. But I felt, and this is so hard to say out loud, I kind of felt like my mom. My dad, I understood, but I kind of felt like my mom was being a sellout. Like, I thought you were going to part, like, as a sovereign citizen. I don't know. I just felt like, and then the one thing that my mother wanted us to know, that the medical system was a farce, and cancer treatment is what killed my mother, and she was not wrong.
Yeah.
So modern medicine, I'm glad that, if my mom signed up to be a force, like if I get, I'll sacrifice myself so one of my kids know the medical system cannot be trusted. So be it. I think me and my older brother are the only ones that really are not at the doctor all the time or on a prescription drug for old age or whatever. I remember my sister Michelle, I told you she got diagnosed with diabetes, and I come home from work and she's like, well, you're going to have it too. I'm like, the fuck I am. I'll probably die of a fucking stroke. And I ain't going to have that diabetes shit. And and here's the thing. I ain't going for no diagnosis for them to tell me I got something that I don't got. I already did that I was age 37. They almost killed me. Thank you very little. I'm good.
Exactly.
And my youngest Isabel, God bless her, you know what I mean by God, but she is, she's gifted in that the research in the plant medicine of her teas and where she wants to go as far as medicine will take her, and Sonia has a lot of knowledge on the other end that she gets to see. So I think both my kids get to see, I better stay, healthier.
Yeah.
Because modern medicine, but then again, they might have things in technology that we didn't have. So it's hard to say. But I don't trust in any way. Now, if I was in a car accident and my arm was going to be severed off or something, I would want a trauma surgeon to, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not going to go to the doctor for checkups to just constantly be tested for shit.
I mean, I'm not knocking stuff like that either. The only thing I will say is there are times where the medical field does,
no, I get that.
Do its due diligence. I mean, I feel like a walking miracle when people remind me and when I tell them about my heart shit.
That's the part I get. But there's maintenance,
right?
And then there is people that are just on pills, putting because we could, and this would raise a lot of people to get pissed. If we wanted to do, I seen a meme yesterday, and it was 2 windows, and one was healthy eating, and the other window was Ozempic. And that's just, just where we're at. You want to be able to,
exactly right.
Yeah, I know. You want to be able to eat like shit and have a Band-Aid. You want to be able to not have symptoms of certain shit, and then you're taking a pill thinking it's going to be a lifesaver. I get all sides, and I get the life-saving. I am not knocking a surgeon. Like a young gal come in yesterday, she has this gorgeous necklace, heart pendant of an open heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, did you have heart issues? Excuse me, my Sonia was born with a hole in her heart. And, excuse me, that fizzy pop, the clearly Canadian is very good. Not a sponsor. But she comes in, and I thought, oh, wow, are you a heart surgeon? Because, it's a pretty
obvious. Significant.
Yeah. So, or did you have a heart problem? And she's like, oh, no, neither. I love this. I said, it's a gorgeous necklace. And I said, well, my daughter was born with a hole in her heart that they stayed on top of, but not really. And
they sure didn't. No.
Right. Yeah. Because again, the medical field drops the ball, and you're just a number of certain things. If you even as a parent, they're like, "Oh, she's fine."
Oh yeah,
So when
after
you
I'll
try
tell
to
John. my
you
situation.
tried to advocate for your kid. You're never gonna be. They're not gonna take your word for it. You could tell them, "Oh, this is where it hurts." Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my problem with the assembly line medical, wherever it's led to here. What was I just saying about the? Because I know you just went to the doctor and it cleared you up, but it also gave you another problem. So
doctors are not going to do anything except what they're trained to do.
Yeah, now chat at GP.
But some doctors are breaking from that because
that's the part.
The world is full of educated idiots.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And it not only stems from that.
They think that they know it all, but some people
God
are
complex.
still real, and they're still finding, and they're still searching, and then they're starting to realize, wait a minute, this is wrong. I hear doctors a lot that I seek out that are coming out of that. They realize I was trained totally just like we were programmed wrong. They was programmed wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That they was taught to medicate the problem, not heal the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, it's just that revolving door again.
Everything.
Yeah.
Pachi Mama gives us everything we need to heal ourselves.
The girl with the heart necklace, she is a drug rep.
Funny enough, yeah.
So she was a drug rep, so yeah.
Well, rest assured, you go to a doctor, they're just going to medicate the problem.
Yeah, because they get a kickback for every drug that they prescribe.
That's exactly right. That's just the way.
And how can you? That type of system? I don't know how it could ever be approved. It's like in the court system when you have conflict of interest. Seriously, how is that? It just. Don't get me started on the pill world because I get it and I don't get it.
I'm with you.
And I smoke pot, so I got no room to say anything.
Not to go to the doctor. You need to do what your gut's telling you to do, but you don't need to do it out of fear. You need to do it because if you don't think you need to go to the doctor, then don't. Seek, take the holistic.
Well, all right, here now.
Do the research. It's out there.
No, I know.
Man, there's so many things to heal people from all these terrible cancers. And I'm not talking about just remedy it.
I get it.
It will heal it. It will take it and I'm just going to say it. I don't care. I don't care what anybody thinks. But I think everything that ails us is parasites.
Oh, I totally believe that too.
Everything.
Parasites. So my book club.
I'm not saying that I'm parasite free because I'm not.
No, I know I'm not.
If you're walking and breathing and talking, you got some parasites.
Yeah. So book club. These ladies, at my age of 55, and I'm an uninsured 55-year-old woman who does not go to the doctor, even if I had Medicaid or whatever that bullshit is. I still wouldn't go and use it. But book club book the last 2 books that have been picked not by me. And you know how I feel about famous people. I'm not like, whatever, because we all put our pant legs in one leg at a time. I don't give a fuck. But have been about menopause. And boy, do they hammer home to my age group. Oh, you got to be on hormones. Oh, you got to do this for the rest of your life. Yeah. You got to take this shit for the rest of your life to make it normal. And then these women that pick this book, they're on the HRT or whatever you call it. They're like, oh my God, my life has changed. I feel so much better. And I'm like, God damn, I went through my change at 38, was done by the time I was probably 32. And oddly enough, and here's how strange nature is, and this might be TMI, but they say for a woman to be completely out of menopause, with no period for 1 year. And I had gone many years without a period, and the only time that I ever spotted again was the day Sonia started her period and the day Isabel started hers. 2 very odd occasions, in my menopause thing. And I'm like, God, I wonder if that's connected in some way because that's weird. But whatever. Life for me is not that weird. But what's weird for me would be taking fucking shots in my belly or taking pills for fucking...
but everybody's doing it.
Exactly. That's why you got Brooke Shields and Naomi Watts writing a bestsellers about how my life changed because I'm not knocking it because if it's working for you, hey, that's great. But I'm here to tell you.
Yeah, but it's only going to work for a while, and
Well, what's the side effects? What's it going to be? You know, we need you to have ovarian cancer by 74, so you got to start taking this shit now. It's what I firmly believe. But also, but here's the part where I get pissed. I'm the one that looks down upon because, number one, I'm uninsured. Number two, you don't take hormones. Number three, how are you even dealing with life? How did you get through it? Well, that's life. And, you know, if you read some of the shit, women aren't even supposed to go through menopause. They had babies up until the time they were 70-some fucking years old. So what's that about? Like, menopause just happened? Like, or is it because of a parasite issue? Or, you know, it finally blocked the fallopian tubes? Or look at the rate of women that can't have babies, which breaks my heart. They can't get pregnant. Or if they do get pregnant, they can't carry. Look at all, maybe, all right, because somebody had mentioned we didn't hear about those things back in the day because we didn't have the internet and those things were kept quiet, which I'm sure is true. A lot of that is true, but there are a few things I'd be carrying right on the forefront would be, hey, let's figure out how these ladies can have babies and how can we cure breast cancer without removing every lymph node you got. Or I just read an interesting article about don't ever let anybody take your gallbladder, and that's the first thing that they took from me. I had no symptoms whatsoever. They come in the office and said, oh, your gallbladder's dying on the inside, it's rotting, we got to take it out. It was right after I had Isabel. And right after that is when all my problems started, and they diagnosed me from one thing after another with a butt disease or colon disease I didn't have, and my butt doctor, Chakra Khan, that's why I got a tramp stamp tattoo, like, you know, all that shit. It was a succession for 4 years till finally, you know, the medication was destroying my pancreas, but I just was not my own advocate. I was like, oh, I just better do it because my mom died of colon cancer. Oh, better do it. My mom died of colon cancer. Oh, better do it because my mom died of colon cancer. And they were wrong.
Did you know that purple potatoes, and this is fact, has been proven to cure colon cancer?
Well, just eating grapes has been documented to cure cancer. I believe there are many.
Look into purple potatoes.
Well, John, if we found purple potatoes in the Americas, what do you think they're saturated with?
Well, I mean, that's just it, you know.
Your little gourmet purple potatoes. Yeah, you're not going to get the same benefits unless, you know, I pick those potatoes right on out of my own whatever.
Yeah. Well, you know, I live close to Tennessee, and Tennessee's going through a thing right now to where the mRNA hickey-do thing, you know what I'm talking about, without saying what I'm talking about, kind of.
I know what you're talking about. Were you telling me that it's on Denafloss now? Like,
yep.
You can't fucking do it.
You know, so I mean, you ain't gonna escape it.
No, you're not.
It's almost impossible.
No, you're not. I mean, fruit's not even the same. Come on now. And then, you know, I read a really disturbing article about, so it's a dude that's high up for John Deere tractors. The suicide rate for farmers this year, I guess, is like beyond the numbers. Imagine you're a subsidized farmer. You gotta go by their rules. And you're young, you inherited your great grandpappy's fucking farm, but you can't afford the $1 million John Deere fucking tractor that it takes. And you're so far in the red that your family can't eat, but you're providing corn for the corn belt. I mean, do you see? There's so much wrong with this fucking picture. And then, hey, here's the best thing. You're not allowed to have seeds. So, it's insane. Hi there. So, yeah, I don't know, it's weird because, you know, I remember, which was even weird when you're a kid, you don't give two shits that your mom's saving tomato seeds, and like, why? You know, because they were raised to save and propagate and, you know, do all the things. Like, I was fascinated by my mother-in-law who would get an avocado tree to just grow. Like, it was almost like it was a prerequisite before they could go into their teenage years, that those women had to learn how to can. They had a lot that they had to learn and do. And it was a lot of work. In gardening, just keeping your plants alive. A lot of work.
Yeah, we had 2 gardens when I was growing up. You know, my mama had a little small garden out back, and it was just for, for us, for like cooking supper and stuff like that. And then she had the family garden. It was a big garden. And, that was a full-time thing.
Yeah. I mean, day in and day out, there was,
Daylight, I grew up. That's, from daylight to dark.
Right.
Watching, she would got this, it's, I can remember it just like it was the other day because it was so much part of my life,
Mm-hmm.
My mama that I'm talking about, we've had that discussion. That's the one that raised me, basically, staying there. And she was
she imprinted you. They do it with horses.
Yeah,
she
challenged me to think about things, so I totally appreciate, what she brought to my life. But, that's what she would do. She would go out, work in the garden. We'd be in the garden, and then she'd go in and watch her stories. And then when that was done, she'd fix me a snack, and then we'd go back out, work in the garden, and she'd come in, she'd start supper. And when supper was done, she'd do the dishes. If it's still daylight, guess what? We went right back to the garden. I remember it so much.
I love that you have that. That's so cool. Jacob and Riley got a big garden this year, and they brought me some cucumbers out of it. And just the smell of a fresh cucumber, it's just like, and I mean, do I miss having the big garden in the work? Some days. I mean, I miss living out in the country and all the fun things, but it is a lot of work if you're going to do it, and you got to dedicate yourself because there is no days off, and then I get why the farmers pray for fucking rain. Like, damn, help me.
Yeah.
Help me.
Yeah.
Well, John, I'm going to cut us short, I think, because I got a couple customers that are going to do a leave one, trade one. And we're going to touch base again because there'll be a part 3 to Alabama John. Sonia, do you want to come and just sign off real quick?
We can after.
Oh, okay. You want to do your own little sign off? Okay. So just tell John goodbye.
Bye, John.
Bye, honeybee. Have a great day.
You as well.
You have fun, and I still want to touch base and record some content this weekend. Are you up for that?
Yeah.
Okay,
I should be able to do that, no problem.
Text me the time frames that you're available, and we'll go.
Okay.
We'll go from there.
Can it be more in the evening time?
Yeah. Especially if it's the week towards the weekend. Well, we are. I guess it's Thursday, so yeah, evening time works great for me. Just give me a text.
I will. I'll shoot you a text and let you know whenever we can chat.
Thank you. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.
You too, sweetie.
All right. Talk soon.